Hello, what's happening? Happy Wednesday. It is Wednesday. I talked yesterday about possibly not doing a stream today, but I decided, I was just hanging out with the puppy. I didn't get anything clean. My brother Philip's gonna be coming over this week to help me with that, so I decided, what the heck, we'll just go ahead and stream. These streams have been fun, so I already had the studio all on because I do a stream also on every morning on another YouTube channel. So the studio's already always fired up, so I figured why not. So happy Wednesday. Hope everybody's doing great. We are at 231 followers. If you are new here, hover over the video. If you're on Amazon, on YouTube, you know what to do, but if you're on Amazon, hover over the video, and when you hover over, there's gonna be a follow button up at the top. Just click on that sucker, and that's gonna allow you to follow. So would appreciate that. And yeah, hope everybody's having a great week so far. It's hump day. So, hey, what is up, Wayne? Just talking to you in the Facebook group. I'm going to test. So I tested yesterday, Ecamm Live, going live to Amazon, and it didn't work. Freddie, thank you for following. It kept telling me that I didn't have the right bit rate. So I'll try the 25 frames per second because that's the only thing that I had different than what you had. So I'll try 25 and see if that works. Is that Hans Blaster under Atari sign? Yes, it is. That is the DL44 right there. Han Solo's blaster. So yes, and that is custom made. So yeah, I think I'm gonna move it though because it looks wonky there. I think I'm gonna move it like up here or something so that it's not underneath that, because it kind of looks like it could be a shadow or could be something. I don't know. I don't know what to do with it. But all I know is it kind of looks funky there. Wouldn't you agree that it looks funky? I don't know. Go, Johnny. Happy Wednesday. Danny is watching the stream while he embroiders. So happy embroidering, Danny. It is embroidering Wednesday for Danny, which is cool. I had one when I was a kid. Nice. Well, I have one as an adult. So what are you going to do? Today we're going to be talking about action cameras, like the best action cameras in my opinion. Now again, these are always my opinion when I say the best for me. And I'm going to talk about like some of them as they pertain to just regular video as well as live streaming, because as you know, I live stream. So live streaming is important to me as far as what a good camera is. So I want to make sure that we talk about these. Yes, that is Slave One back there as well. All right, so first, let's get into talking about cameras. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about my favorite action camera of all time. All right, I have had this action camera for a long time. I've been using it for IRL streaming, which is where I go out with a backpack and walk around. We've done like, I don't know. We've gone to zoos. We've gone to conventions, we've gone to museums, we went on a pirate ship one time. So custom made from a Mauser like the original? No, I did have one of those, but no, it's not made after a Mauser. It is plastic, but no, the Mauser one was, man, that was heavy. That thing was heavy. Hold on, I gotta wipe off my glasses. I can barely see. I don't know how, like my glasses, they'll be fine, and then once I sit down and start seeing the glare from the monitors, that's when I notice all the gunk on my lenses. I don't notice when I'm just walking around, but when I sit down, I'm in the studio, boom, all of a sudden I see it all. Hola, Rene, ¿cómo estás? Just assuming you speak Spanish because your name's Rene. And you just said hola, duh. That just proves it right there that you speak Spanish. So yes, we are going to be talking about the best action cameras real quick. And again, this is my opinion on what I think is the best. So let's go to number one, which is the Sony Fdr X3000. Now, this has been a camera that I have used a lot. I've used it for vlogging. I've used it for all kinds of stuff. And I actually have it set up so that boom. So I brought it in here so that you can kind of see the angle. And I have a couple of modifications on this thing. So if you look at it, I have a lens hood on it. I have a funky stand on it, but I'm charging it at the same time. I put this lens hood on it to protect the lens because the lens can, you know, get scratched, and it's a lens that you really don't want to get scratched. That wouldn't be good. Scratched lenses are never fun, right? And I have a few of these. I have 3 of these. This is the other one. I'm gonna hold this one up real quick. Go back to this. Why does that? I have that set so it doesn't kick on when this cuts to that, but it keeps going on when I cut to it, even though I don't have the green arrow selected. What is up with that? Let me do that again. Is it gonna? Yeah, it's kicking it on, and I don't have it on. That's really weird. What's up, VMix? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that, man? So let's sit this back down over here. And let's go over here. So this is what the camera looks like. I have a little dead cat on the front of it because it covers the microphone for wind. But I'm telling you what, this sucker is great audio and the video. It's got a really wide field of view, and you can actually set it to wide, narrow, and linear, just like you can the GoPro. The menu system's a little bit wonky, but it's not too bad. And then another thing that I really like about it is you have your HDMI, your charger, and an external microphone jack. So that's something that the GoPros and stuff don't have right out of the gate. The DJI Osmo Action doesn't have that out of the gate. Like all these other cameras, you have to get a bunch of accessories in order to have those connections. And then it does have a 1/4-20 mount on the bottom of it. And then it is waterproof, so if you can see the rubber gaskets and stuff around this. Let me see, I can get that to focus. So you got the rubber gasket, and then if I take off the battery door, unlock that, pop that off, it's all waterproof. So pop that on and boom, lock it, and it's water resistant. So really good little cameras. I do have the DJI Osmo Action, but I'm sending it back. I haven't even opened this yet. I'm sending it back because it doesn't do clean HDMI. Now in my use case, I need clean HDMI because I want to stream with the camera. I mean, it is, for me, it's a streaming camera. So it needs to be multifunctional for me. I have the DJI Pocket. What are your thoughts on the Pocket as an action cam? So I think it's decent. It does have rock steady stabilization. I think it's a decent camera. Let me go to that one really quick. Right here. So this is the DJI Osmo Action. This camera is several years old. It doesn't have as wide a field of view as the GoPro or as some of these other cameras. So, you know, that's a problem. I need a really wide field of view when I'm doing IRL streaming and stuff. So either the GoPro or the Sony Fdr X3000 are going to be the cameras that I prefer. This is a good action camera for recording video, but again, the field of view is not that wide. It does have some other issues as well. It doesn't have clean HDMI. It doesn't have an audio jack, so you have to get accessories if you want to get audio and stuff. And you know, but a couple of things that I do like over this one, or from this one over the others, is this lens system that just screws off. So you can screw off the lens and just pop on like ND filters, pop on other lenses. So it's a nice system for that, where the GoPro does have that. It's just kind of frustrating on how to get that stuff out. Hold on, I just got a new follower on Elo. Elo, I mean. You guys, new follower on Elo. So I'm somebody now. The lens of the FDR is also smutzig. What's smutzig? Too much dog kisses on my glasses. Yes, I don't know what smutzig is. Smutzig. I use my Osmo Action all the time. I use my Osmo Pocket rarely. Yeah, for if you're doing like vlogging and stuff and that's all, it could be a great camera because it's lightweight. It's, you know, I have this set up right here. Let me go to this camera. I have this set up right here, so I have my phone on the front here so I can mount my phone, and then it's just like a tripod. I generally have the GoPro on here, not the Sony, and then I just kind of like put it in like this, and then got my whole rig here. So there, I'm vlogging or whatever, or live streaming, mobile live streaming, where I have this. But I can't do that with the Osmo Action because the Osmo Action does not have HDMI out. So smutzig is Amish for dirty. Oh, what is the microphone on your desktop I'm using? John Brown. This is the Lewitt 240 Pro. Lewitt 240 Pro. That is actually in my other list, my streaming gear and everything. So if you go to my profile, you can see that in the carousel there, or in my list. So what camera would you recommend for cycling? For cycling, either this, which is the Sony Fdr X3000, and let's go to that because we're going to look at the problem with this is it's hard to get a hold of right now, because generally this is like a $350 camera. You cannot find it right now. So if I were to get a camera right now for cycling, I would get, and hold on, because I'm going to show you guys how we set this up. So I'm going to unplug this, and I'm going to plug in the GoPro. Okay, and so the GoPro Hero 9 is what I would recommend for mounting to a bike right now. And the reason is the field of view. So the field of view on this is great. The super wide field of view. And you can also get a media mod or a lens mod that makes it even wider. So when you're on a bike, you're going to want to bring people into the experience. That's the whole thing. That's why you want a super wide lens, because when you're cycling, you want people to feel like they're there. And the more information you can give them, the more things they can see. That is, better. So let me hook this up really quick. I'm going to show you something. This is kind of wonky on this camera. So I'm going to go to this camera. Gonna have to turn off the audio because I don't know why that's going on. So let's turn this on, and you're going to see what it does when it first kicks on. This is why one of the reasons I don't like this camera for IRL streaming is what you're going to see right now. So it's on, not getting a signal yet. So USB connected. Oh, hold on. It's seeing it as it being plugged into the computer. So it's gonna, I have to plug it into a charger. So you guys see all the menu items on the screen right now? You're seeing all the menu items on the screen. That's a problem. I actually reached out to GoPro to ask them about that. So you can see the battery up there at the top. And if I remove all the stuff, oops, wrong one. Okay, that is not supposed to do that. Let's turn this all the way down. Okay, so what I got to do in order to get rid of that is I need to hit this. Then I need to go one. Oops. Hold on a second. This is what's messed up about using this if you're going to be streaming. It's a pain in the royal butt. Highlight tagged. Okay, I don't know what that is. So now I'm not wanting that. Okay, hold on. All right, so you got to hit this. And then you got to hit this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then hit this. And it gets rid of the menu item. So now it's clean HDMI. But as you can see here, if you look down, I've got nothing. I can't see it on the screen. The only way I can set this to be clean HDMI is looking through the monitor that I'm bringing it in. Now, I actually just reached out to DJ or to GoPro. I was on a conference, or not a conference, but a chat with them, and told them that this is like, it should default to clean. And then if somebody wants the menu items on, if they have it plugged into a monitor, then they should be the ones that have to click a menu to get to having the stuff on. So hopefully they fix that. But other than that, I mean, if you can get the menu items off, this has been a great camera. Like, I've had no problems with this camera whatsoever. I would use this as my main camera on my live streaming rig if it didn't do that with the HDMI. That's the only thing I'm complaining about, because I've never had it overheat. I've all the other things, but the freaking not clean HDMI by default is frustrating. So hopefully they said that they said they put that in, and they said they would push for that to be in the next firmware update. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. Time will tell. But hopefully they listen, and hopefully that happens, because if they make it default to clean HDMI, this would be my main live streaming camera for several reasons. I mean, I've got this mounting system that I can put on here that makes it easy to move it in and out of different places. The microphone on this media mod is really good. Another thing that's frustrating is even when it's plugged in, we do get a menu on the front, but that's not gonna show because the white balance, or I mean the ISO is not changing enough. But anyway, you just see a picture of the HDMI on the front here. Oh, I know why that is. Hold on a second. I need to turn off color keying. Boom, there we go. No, I guess that wasn't it. I thought that was it. Focus. Nope. Okay, but anyway, it shows an HDMI symbol. So my home address was showing. Where was my home address showing? Just my zip code and stuff. That's fine. I don't care about that. So yeah. So several frustrating things, but like I said, it's got a pretty wide field of view. I'm not sure what view this is. We can go in here to the menu. So here's what I got to do in order to change the field of view. I got to unplug the HDMI. So watch this. This is the process you got to do. Oops. Got to unplug it from HDMI. Then this menu is going to come back on. Okay. Now I can swipe up on this, and so it's set on wide right now. So I'm going to go out of 5K. I'm going to go to 1080 60 super view. All right. Now that it's on super view, now I'll plug in the HDMI again. Okay. Plugged in HDMI again. Now I can switch to the camera again. It's going to come in here in a second. As soon as it gets a signal, I have to click on this 1, 2, go to camera, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then click this, and now it's off. And now that's super view. So, and I actually went in and manually set all my settings on this. This is set for outdoors. I actually have an ND filter on here. That's why it looks so dark. It generally doesn't look that dark. But I go into manual settings. I don't use GoPro's settings. So, yeah, just on the Amazon screen. Okay, yeah, no worry, Mike. No worries, Mike. Thank you for letting me know. But yeah, there's no way for me to hide my zip code and stuff, and I really don't care. People can't really get my address or anything, so I'm not really worried about it. I do have a dog if people show up, so. But anyway, yeah, so this is the super view. And the thing is, like, the stabilization on this, like if I point this over here, this is just hand holding this. I'm hand holding it. You can see it's pretty steady compared to if I was hand holding another camera. It wouldn't work. So this, the stabilization that this has is really good, especially if you're riding a bike, Freddie. So this would be a great one for cycling. And the mounting systems on the GoPro, you just have so many choices. And the fact that with the now I personally would not use this camera without the media mod. And this is the media mod that's on here. This is what gives me the HDMI and the charging, as well as a audio jack. So you could do an external audio, which I would highly recommend if you're going to be cycling. Although you could get a rig kind of a dead cat kind of thing for wind, and put it on here, and then you can decide which mic you want to use on here when you go into modifications. You can either use the rear or the front. And if you're going to be cycling, you'd probably want to use the rear so people could hear you. And using the rear mic, that's actually going to help because you're not going to get the wind noise as much in the mic when the wind's coming this way as you're riding your bike. So that's a pretty cool feature as well. Whereas, something like the Fdr X3000, you're not going to get that. And as far as battery life, somebody asked about battery life comparing the two. Battery life is pretty much similar. I get a little bit more time out of the GoPro batteries, but it's harder to get out. This design is freaking ridiculous because in order to get to the battery, I have to take this mount completely off, because what they did was they made that there's a hole in the bottom of the media mod, and that's where the flaps come off of the camera and come through there. So what they should have done is they should have put the same mounts on the bottom of the media mod so that you could keep the media mod mounted to a tripod while you take the battery and stuff out or slide the camera out. So if they did that, it would have been a little bit easier. But the fact that I have to take this off every time I want to get to the memory card or anything sucks. So I don't even have to do that. So the way that I rig mine, I do not put a battery in here. So there's no battery in this camera whatsoever. I take the battery out, and that's so it doesn't overheat. And then I charge it. So you'll see I have it plugged into here. So this is the battery pack. This thing will keep it going a lot longer than the GoPro battery. And I actually have a bigger one that I generally use. It's about a 30,000 milliamp. I just put it in my, okay, don't laugh at me, but I have a fanny pack. I put it in my fanny pack, and then the cable comes out, goes to the camera, and that way I can keep this going all day long. I don't have to worry about the battery. I don't have to worry about overheating, and I don't have to worry about getting it out of the case. And then when I want to move footage, I just plug USB into here, plug it into my computer, and then I pull it into Final Cut, and I can edit it right out of there and not have to pull this thing out at all. So that's ideal. There are some situations, hold on a second, I gotta sneeze. Ooh, good morning, David. So yeah, doing it this way is a lot better. For second choice, would you recommend the DJI? So again, Freddie, the reason I don't recommend the DJI if you're going to be doing cycling is because it's not a really wide field of view. So you could also, the other action cam that I was going to talk about is actually where's it at? This one, the Insta360 X2. This is a 360 degree camera. Now it's, you know, it's 360, so editing is a lot different, but you're getting a wide field of view. Again, for me, if I was a cyclist, I want to bring people in. I want to have the widest field of view. I want people to be able to see everything. So that's why, you know, and based on stock and everything, that's why I still recommend this. But you could even go to different, like a GoPro Hero 7, which is cheaper. You could do the 7, you could do the 8, which is going to be cheaper. You don't have to get the 9. Now remember, probably in September we're going to see the GoPro 10. I would assume. Hey, what's up, Nobby? Good morning. So in September you're probably going to see a new GoPro, the GoPro 10. So I might hold out for that. Fanny pack, huh? What does your husband carry his battery in? I don't need a fanny pack. I have cargo shorts. Yeah, I have cargo shorts too, but you know what's frustrating about that? When you put it down in those side pockets, it bumps your knee. They're so low that it bumps your knee all the time. I don't like that, so I put it in my little fanny pack. And let me show you. I'll be brave here. There's no secrets here. I'll go and show you my fanny pack. I'll show you what I actually ordered, so you guys can see just how cool I am. I am a cool dude. All right, I'm a cool dude with a fanny pack. Okay, where's it at? It's in my orders here somewhere. You are not allowed to make fun of me for wearing a utility that I actually use that makes sense. Like it actually serves a purpose. So here is my fanny pack. The Max Top Large Crossbody. See? It's got a bunch of storage. Got different mounts and everything. You can do it like that, so it's not necessarily a fanny pack. It goes around you like that, or you can wear it around your waist, however you want to do it. You know, whatever makes you feel cool, whatever floats your boat. What's up, Albert? That's like a new iPhone. Will probably be available in October. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Lewis? I did that when I was using my phone to live record. I had a backpack with all my equipment and a battery pack. Yeah, that's what you need to do. I think the fanny pack better approach is big brain given the access issue. I may get the 9 in a year or two. I have way too many expenses lately. Yeah, really good stabilization. It really does. It really is. I love the stabilization on it. Freddie, you are welcome. Cool, David. Introducing my friend Nobby from Melbourne to you. He's a super cool guy. I know Nobby K. Nobby K's been around this community before, I swear. Nobby, have I not seen you before? Like, this is not your first foray into this community. Am I wrong? There's been another Nobby K that was around. I feel like that was in the live streaming pros days, but I feel like Nobby's been around. I got the Sigma 16mm to test, added it to the 6400, tried it in zoom, but when you try to zoom in, the pixels aren't the same, blurrier. I don't know why you would try to zoom in. Try and zoom, but when you try to zoom in, the pixels aren't the same. Blurrier. What are you using as far as a capture card? I don't have that issue because if you select HD in zoom, you won't have that issue. It's more like a saddlebag. I take it back. I'm getting a couple of those. It's more like a saddlebag. Yeah, it's a saddlebag. Oh, it's way too wide. Just put it close. Like mine is literally, I literally can touch it right here. I mean, it's not even 2 foot. I'm not even bending my arm all the way. It's not even outstretched. Like if I scoot back, it's less than 2 foot away from me. Then it's not too wide. You just got to get it much closer. And then you'll get the shallow depth the closer you get it too. So now I was going to also show you guys the iPhones. If you have the iPhone 11 or the iPhone 12 Pro, those are also great cameras to use as an action camera, because you've got the super wide field of view on those now as well. And I'm going to, hold on, I'm going to shut this off. Shut off the GoPro. Goodbye, GoPro. And we're going to plug this back into here. Source. And we're going to plug in the iPhone here. And we're going to go into, what is that? Filmic Pro. And okay. And then let's go with the lens. Ultra wide. Okay. And here we go. And now we'll cut to this. Boom. And there you go. This is the iPhone 12 Pro Max ultra wide. So, you know, and this has stabilization too. I'm hand holding this. This has really good stabilization on it. So, and you could live stream with it and all that stuff. So it is actually a very good action cam. Now it is your phone. So, you know, it could, you know, you don't necessarily want to be mounting your phone to your bike and a chance of hurting it or whatever. But I'll show you this. This is a case that you can get from Small Rig that makes it so this is my iPhone 12 in here. This is a heavy duty case that you can get for your iPhone that has a bunch of mounts on it, bunch of 3/4 20 mounts. And let me actually add this to the tray, because this is a great piece of gear. So hold on a second. I'm going to say Small Rig iPhone cage. All right. Yep. Small Rig. So here's for the 12 Pro and the 12 Pro Max. And I thought they had it for the 11 as well, the 11 Pro. Ulanzi has one. I'm going to put in for the 11 Pro. All right, so I just put those in. Now let me go back over here to the stream. That is one of the frustrating parts about this this Amazon thing, is going back into this stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna highlight the one that's for the 12 Pro, because that's what I have, or the 12 Pro Max. So take this off of here, put it over here. Okay. So like I was saying, this thing has this, but what's also really cool about this is these are Moment lens holes. So my Moment lens is attached to this, and it is much better than any of the Moment cases that I've ever had. You've got cold shoe mounts on here. You got two of them, one on the top, one on the side. And then you still have all of your buttons here. You've got your lock button. You've got all of this stuff. You've got your volume rocker. Everything is still here, but you've got 3/4 or 1/4 20 holes all over this thing. On the bottom, on the top, on the side, everywhere. So you can mount a lot of stuff, and it's metal. I mean, it's solid metal. So, you know, and even this handheld thing, I could mount one of these on both sides and have a really stable shot, because I can hold it like this. I can mount this to things if I wanted to. It's got 1/4 20 mounts on the top of this. So if you wanted, you could mount this to your bike. And then this is what it does. You just push this button, it opens, and you just slide it out. So you slide it in and out like that. This isn't a case that you'd want to keep your phone in all the time. You would only do this if you were out doing stuff. But it's super sturdy. And again, you can mount your Moment lenses in here. So I've got a whole set of Moment lenses, and they just screw right on here, and they're good to go. I really like that about this. So I don't have this for the 12 Pro Max. I only got it for the 12 Pro. but they do make one for the 12 Pro. Ulanzi makes one for the 11 Pro. So, and I don't know if that one also has the moment lens mounts, but does it affect signal? I'm not sure. I don't generally use signal when I'm doing this, because the way that I do it is I don't use my phone as a phone when I'm streaming. I want all that off. I don't want any text messages coming in. I don't want anything like that. And when I live stream, I don't stream from the phone ever. I stream from my mobile rig. So all I want is my clean HDMI coming out. So I just have my thing plugged in here. Okay, so you've got your dongle that comes in here like this. All right, and then I've got my dongle on there with my HDMI, and that's how I do that. So, and I would actually probably have a clip on here. There's a clamp that I have that I could clamp this cable so that it doesn't pull on it. So I probably would move, I'd probably move this handle to the other side or on the bottom or something, just so that I could have the cable be free, and then put a mount on here and lock the cable in. So weird, you have to enter that on an iPhone only. Enter what, Adam? That's a major accessory. Maybe the 12 will be less than 1,000 when the 13 or whatever comes out. I doubt it. I doubt it. Maybe the 12, but not the 12 Pro or 12 Pro Max, I don't think. No, I guess it would depend on what storage you get. But the thing is, I can totally get the 12 Pro, minimum one, because if I'm only using it as a streaming tool or a camera, you don't have to get all the storage, because I'm not storing anything on it long term. Funny you said your video like the Deal guy. I enjoy him also. He's a little quirky, but he has good content. Yeah, Matt, I like Matt too. Matt's awesome. He is funny, and he's been doing that for a long time, and he's got a good production value. He's cool. Overlord meeting. Okay, later, Scott, do you get to use the GoPro Osmo accessory ecosystem with the Sony cam? Yes, you can, because it has a quarter 20. Where'd that go? Where'd I put the other one? Here it is. It has a quarter 20 mount on the bottom, so you can mount anything you can mount on a GoPro or whatever. You can totally do that. There's quarter 20 mounts for all of this stuff, so totally can use it, and it's right on the bottom of the camera. I didn't lock in the door very well, did I? Making it not waterproof. Good thing I didn't drop this in water. Items to your Amazon carousel. Oh yeah, I know. I wish I could use my iPad, but the iPad is a horrible experience with that. Nabi loves Filmic. I do too. Using an Elgato capture card. I've got the monitor in front of me. We'll test another tripod to get it closer. Need to buy a boom arm to hold it. Yeah, that's kind of what I have. Let me go here to my handy PTZ camera. That was where the dog was laying earlier. She's going back on Friday. Okay, so let me zoom out here so you can see how I have mine mounted. I have mine mounted on these on one of these Manfrotto arms, and that thing locks it in solid. These Manfrotto arms, they're like 129 bucks each, but they are so worth it. I use them in all my studio builds just because they last forever. And once I crank them tight, like I crank the heck out of those things, and boom, they just get so tight that they don't move. I love those mounts. And then on the other camera, the overhead camera, I'm using the Elgato mounting system. So let me zoom out a little bit more so you can see that one right there. So this is the Elgato mount that I was talking about yesterday that I have it mounted with. And I am actually thinking about replacing this overhead camera with something different, like a phone or an action cam, or a webcam. I have the Elgato face cam coming. As soon as that gets here, I'm going to test that up there and see how that works. And that might potentially be one that I choose. If you are watching on Amazon right now, I would appreciate it if you would hover over the video and follow. If you hover over it, you'll see a follow button appear over the video. I would really appreciate it. Trying to build my follower count to get to 2,000 so that I can reach the next level, which is called A-list. And that's going to have me featured on different pages on Amazon, possibly on the home page. So I'm working my butt off to get to that. So I thank you guys for following, and everybody who has followed. We're at 231 when I started this stream. So we're growing daily, which is awesome. David, would ever use the GoPro for Zoom, YouTube, or Amazon live streaming? I would as a secondary camera. So, it's kind of like, think about this. If I have this camera, it's just kind of a wide view. It's a way for people to see kind of behind the scenes. I have had a GoPro mounted up there, and that's what I used for this shot, like an overhead kind of shooting down. And one thing that I really like about it is it's bringing people in, but it's also not heavy. So I don't need a really heavy mount, like a really heavy duty mount system to hold it. I could just use like a little clamp and it'll hold it just fine. The only problem is every time you turn it on, you got to go through that menu thing and click it and turn it on. So that's why the GoPros kind of suck for that. But these cameras right here, you just turn them on. And actually, when I turn this on, when I power it, I just leave it on indefinitely when I have it as a behind the scenes cam. And I might actually set one of these up just so that I can show you guys what it looks like to have something like this for behind the scenes. Would you use the GoPro instead of the new Elgato webcam, a multi-use? I mean, you always got to ask yourself when you're getting ready to purchase a camera, what are your use cases? Because I would choose a different camera based on my use cases. So for me personally, because I do like to do some vlogging, I do like to do some walking around, and I like to do some live streaming, I would love for the GoPro to be that camera. I would absolutely love for this to be that camera. But because of the clean HDMI issue that I always got to mess with every time I want to stream with it, it can't be that. It can't be that for me. And that's why I've been using like the ZV-1 or this camera. But the thing that I don't like about this camera is the fact that I can't switch the audio from the front to the back. Now it does have an audio jack on it, so I could use that. And also it's just, you know, it's a little bit old. And yeah, I don't know. I can't really say anything bad about it because I still absolutely love this camera. Like I could sit here and be like, well, it's this, it's that, but it's still my go-to. Like when I had my stream mess up the other day on Mobile Monday, when it messed up, I pulled out old Trusty here, plugged her in, and she saved the stream, as she always does. So, you know, I can't say anything bad about it. And Partial Geek, the stream looks good, by the way. Thank you. You know, and one thing that I am not liking is the fact that Amazon doesn't support 30 frames per second. So I'm having to send 30 frames per second to YouTube and not 60. Oh, so frustrating. For walking around exploring, would you use a gimbal with the iPhone or the rig you just showed? So Clay, this rig makes it a little bit easier, you know, if I'm holding with both hands or whatever, but a gimbal definitely would help. The Ohm 4, the DJI Ohm 4 gimbal would be great. You probably couldn't use that with this case simply because of how much weight this case adds, but I don't know, I've not tried it. I have one of those and I could test it, but definitely it's going to always be stabler if you can use a gimbal, even with the GoPro. With the GoPro's excellent stabilization, I still would sometimes recommend a gimbal depending on what you're doing. But you really have to look at what your use case is going to be. Are you just going to be streaming? Are you just going to be recording video? Are you going to be vlogging? Are you going to be vlogging and streaming? Because like once you know all the use cases you plan to use the camera for, and I always say get the one that does it all. You know, if GoPro would update the dang firmware so that you got clean HDMI by default, this would be my go-to camera for everything because I can vlog with this, I can stream with it, and I can do everything with it. So, Nrupali, thank you for following. So yeah, I just totally would go with this camera, but again, because of that clean HDMI issue, I can't. Because when I'm out streaming and something happens and it comes unplugged or something because I'm moving something around and I have to plug it back in, I can't see the menu item, so I have to think it, like I have to count in my head and hope that I hit the right buttons so that it goes to the right menu item and turns it off. And that doesn't always happen. I have no way to see the menu. I would have to pull out my phone with the latency, with the delay, and wait, hit the button, wait, hit the button, wait. And sometimes in waiting for that to show up, the screen times out and it has to start over. So that's a very frustrating process. But again, this GoPro 9 has the front facing screen so I can see to frame myself and all this stuff. I wish that would still show up when you got the HDMI cable plugged in. So there are a lot of things that I wish would happen with this, with the HDMI. So Sandy, I hate my GoPro 9 because of the HDMI issue. Yeah, exactly. I was just on GoPro support telling them that this is stupid. The way that they did this is stupid. It should default to clean, and then people who have a monitor who can see, they should be the ones that have to go in and click the stuff to get the menu item to show. Because if they want those menu, I mean, who wants the menu items to show anyway? Who wants that? Tell me one person that plugs this into anything HDMI that wants to see that menu. Tell me one person. They don't exist. So why would you do that? David's got more gear than what I've got, Nobby. What was the white camera you just showed, David? Looks like my old Sony one. It is. That's the Sony Fdr X3000. That's my go-to action camera that I've used for years. Jeffrey, hey boss, so you recommend the GoPro 7 or 9? I would recommend the 9 just simply because you've got the front-facing screen. So it's multi-use. So if you're going to vlog or something like that, having that front-facing screen to be able to frame your shot is so valuable. Have you tried the Sony Rx100? No, I haven't. And I don't really, that camera didn't interest me at all. There was nothing about that camera that I was like, you know what? I think I would like to have that camera. So I didn't grab it. It looks cool, but yeah. My condolences, Lisa Crazy. Wait, what? Hello, peeps. My day started off tragic. One of my friends passed away. I need to guys to cheer me up and see me through. Oh, sorry to hear that, Lisa. My condolences. Crazy how life is. A friend of mine who's a moderator had his daughter's home destroyed by a fire. Try to live life to its fullest. You never know what tomorrow may bring. That is so true. David, so the ZV-1 is far better for live streaming than the GoPro 9. Oh, hell yeah. The ZV-1's better in a lot of things. Now, the only thing the ZV-1 is not as good at is stabilization. It has active stabilization, but when you turn that on, you get a crop, and it crops in quite a bit. So a 24 millimeter technically becomes about a 30 millimeter when you've got the stabilization on. Whereas that doesn't happen on the GoPro or the Sony. The Sony and the GoPro have very similar stabilization. So that's one downfall, but the ZV-1 is definitely a multi-use camera, and I use it for, I use it for anything. Now, the reason I prefer this, if I could, for vlogging and everything, is because it's so small. When you pull this out on a little tripod or whatever, people aren't like, oh my gosh, there's a big camera. But the way that I have my ZV-1 rigged up with the battery and everything, it's such a bigger footprint that, people are more aware of it. So I like this. Plus, I like that I can mount it to my chest. I got a head mount and stuff to it. Can't really do that with the ZV-1. I mean, I could, but it would be so heavy. And, just having the way that it's set up would not work that well. So that's why I don't like that for that reason. David, for some reason tonight, I added the Sigma 16 millimeter to the A6400 and turned it on for me for some reason. Can't see in settings where to keep it on. I mean, the lens should have nothing to do with that. But are you using the battery adapter? Hold on, I got a cough again. A battery adapter keeps that from happening, or just make sure that you go in and set it to shut off after 30 minutes or whatever. But if you're not sending out a signal, all right, if you're not sending out an HDMI signal or whatever, that doesn't stay on. So if you're recording, it will stay on. If you are have it going out to HDMI into something that's pulling the signal, it will stay on. If you unplug the HDMI or you shut off the computer that the HDMI is plugged into, it will then time out after 30 minutes. So you have to keep it, the stream, the signal going out in HDMI the whole time. Other than that, I don't know why it would have shut off. I've never had that happen. And I have several. 2 Sony A6100s. I had a 6400. I sold that one. So yeah. So you guys have any other questions about action cameras that I can answer or not answer? Either one. But either I can answer or not answer. In Zoom, always plugged in, streaming live. Okay, so I don't know if Zoom. So that could be the problem, is that maybe it doesn't see it the same. I'm not sure. But I've never had mine shut off, so I don't know what that could have been. But if it's like, if anything happens, like, I don't know if you said you're using a Cam Link, I think. If you're using a Cam Link, that's the only capture card I've ever had issues with, is a Cam Link. That's why I prefer the HD60 Plus, the Elgato HD60 Plus, because that one doesn't time out like the Elgato Cam Link can, for whatever reason. And there's no rhyme or reason, but sometimes when the Cam Link goes out, I just unplug it, plug it back in, and then I'm good to go. But sometimes I get a little bit of green artifacting with that one. So that's why I personally don't use the Cam Link unless I have to, as a last resort. That's like my last resort capture card. It's like, okay, I've got, using all these different capture cards, I need another capture card. What do I got? I got the Cam Link. Okay, I guess I'll use that. But the HD60S Plus is the one that I recommend, and it's the one that it's been the most, as far as USB goes, as far as capture cards, it's been the most reliable and consistent that I've gotten. So, oh my gosh, I didn't even notice when I bought this this waist pack or whatever you want to call it, that they had these awesome colors. Like, look at that, snowmen and Christmas trees. Are you kidding me? Dang it. Clay, David, what camera would you put this up on the screen? David, what camera would you recommend for a small live view solo streamer? We do theme parks, beaches, and other outdoor activities. We currently use the iPhone 12 Pro Max. We also have the GoPro 9. So the GoPro 9 is such a hard camera to use because of that HDMI issue that I was just talking about earlier, where you have to like filter through that menu to get the items off the screen. I talked to GoPro support and they said that they were going to put that on a list to potentially put in the next firmware update. If they did that, holy cow, that would be awesome. Yeah, I'll add that capture card to the tray here for you, David. 1 second, Clay, and I'll finish answering your question. Okay, I just added that to the carousel, David, for you. So if you just scroll through, it should be the last item in the carousel now. So I think the iPhone 12 Pro Max is great because that one you can reverse the camera back and forth and get the front camera, the back camera. For me, I like something like, it kind of depends. It kind of depends what you're trying to do with your stream. Are you trying to bring people into the experience? And do you have times where you have to get really close to something? Because I've had different scenarios. Like if I was at the zoo, you know, when we went and did the San Diego Wild Animal Park, we went on the giraffe expedition where we got to go behind the scenes and pet rhinoceros and pet giraffe and feed giraffe and stuff like that. What I used then was the Sony Rx100 Mark 7 because it has a 24 millimeter to 200 millimeter lens, meaning I zoomed in on giraffes and got right up close into their grill. Like I got right to their mouth while they were chewing leaves and all that other stuff. And that camera was amazing for that experience. Whereas I also find that with the Sony ZV-1, I can get a good experience. It's got ND filters in it and everything. It's got good audio. But then if I'm doing like a theme park or something, I generally have the Sony Fdr X3000. The only problem is then if I want to show anything off, I got to get right up close to it. But the reason I like that is this microphone is very good for audio for like if you're in a crowded environment and you're talking, this picks up usually your voice and not all the crowd noise. And that's one thing that I really liked about this. But again, if you want to show anything close up, you got to get right up on it. You got to put the camera like right against it to see it. And I don't like that. It does have a zoom. It's digital zoom, so it looks like crap. So I don't even use it. Whereas with the RX100 Mark 7, which is an expensive camera, we're talking like $1,100, but that camera just like brings you right into the experience. So it totally depends on what you're trying to do with your IRL stream. If you're wanting the action shot, kind of bring wide field of view to bring people into the experience, the GoPro has that potential, but that HDMI issue makes it a no-go for me. Like I can't use it because with the live view, I can't see the menu in order to change it. Like I would have to have a monitor, get it changed, and then hope that the camera doesn't shut off for any reason during the stream to where I have to set it back up again at any point because you can't see that menu on the little screen on the live view. So, and then the Dji Osmo Action doesn't have clean HDMI at all, so that one doesn't work. So, Fiat Ministry, would you wait for the Hero 10 or just buy the Hero 9? I don't know what is going to be in the 10. The 10 comes out in September, so if you don't absolutely need it right now, I would go ahead and wait and see what they say, like what it's going to have. Hey, App Man, good to see you too. And again, you guys, if you're over on Amazon and you've not yet followed, please click on hover over the button and hit follow up here. It's right up here somewhere. Maybe my finger will be right close to it. It's probably right around where the Atari sign is. Just hover over the video. If you see that, click it. But what I was saying, Fiat, is like, if you don't need the camera, like right now, if you've got time, then I would go ahead and wait, because if they fix these issues, The mounting issues, like I was saying, in order to get to the battery, I have to take this media mod completely off. I have to unmount it from everything to pull it out of there. It's frustrating. There's so many frustrating things about this camera, but it has so much potential. Like I said, if they would fix the HDMI issue and they would fix the mounting issue, this would be by far the best streaming camera for IRL out there, because I can change the linear, I can change the narrow, I can change to super wide. So, you know, those things make it really cool. So yeah, I hope that they update this. And then having the media mod, you get this shotgun microphone that's really cool. And then you get the ability to use HDMI to charge it. Let me go to my overhead shot. You get the HDMI, you get the charge port, and you get a external microphone. So you could use external microphones like something like the Blink 500s where you've got two mics. So if you have two people that are on camera, you could have really good audio going through this thing. So like, and I can put ND filters on there. So that's an ND filter on the lens right now for sunshine to make it look better. So again, I want so bad for that to be the camera, but it can't be because of that HDMI issue. I gotta stretch. Oh, you guys ever get like a little cramp in your tummy? That sucks. So does that answer your question, Clay? Hopefully. Daniel Wright, thank you for following. Appreciate it. But yeah, does that answer your question? And then do you guys have any other questions about action cameras, mounting systems, whatever? Go ahead and ask away. Got a couple more minutes here. I'll stay live and then I'm gonna cut out and go eat me some lunch, because it is almost lunchtime. I'm kind of curious to see. Let's go. I'm going to go over here and see GoPro 10 rumors. Let's see if we can find out any rumors on the GoPro 10. GoPro has announced a new Black Series flagship action cam in late September or early October every year since Hero 5. Given this was not pushed back in 2020 despite the pandemic, we're expecting GoPro to keep the same launch window in 2021. So let's go in here and see what they're saying we could see. All right, hold on, let me zoom this in. All right. So, GoPro Hero 10 Black release date and price. GoPro has announced the new Black Series flagship. Okay, we just read that. There are currently no Hero 10 Black pricing leaks, but we don't expect to see a big change from the Hero 9 of $449. However, if the new camera launches at the same price, this may feel like a hike as GoPro dropped the price on the Hero 9 Black slightly in January. So a new processor. Holy cow, a new processor would be like, it's needed, because we're still using the same processor from like 3 or 4 generations ago. It does, David. Thanks. Followed you on Amazon too. Thank you, Clay. Do you have any suggestions for an inexpensive portable monitor to use with the action cams? Daniel, that's why I kind of recommend the GoPro, because it has a lens on the front of it. But are you using it for streaming or are you using it for recording? Because there's a big difference, Daniel. Like if you're using it for recording, then you can do the GoPro. If you're using it for streaming, then you could do a monitor, but you're going to add weight. At that point, you might as well use like your iPhone or something, or your Android phone. But I don't know what your use case is. So tell me what you're going to be using it for, whether you're going to be streaming or just recording video, and I can answer that. See you tomorrow on Morning Invest. You will indeed, Albert. Thank you so much. Yo, can you raid? No, I cannot. I don't raid people. Despite a recent firmware upgrade, it remains a little slow in operation, often failing to respond to touchscreen presses. And that is true. The touchscreen is not great on the GoPro. These can be faulty, but don't suffer from the sort of genuine screen tap failures you might see in a resistive screen, which are now barely used in consumer tech. Okay, so blah, 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 blah. Yeah, the Dji Osmo Action, that is one thing that I did notice that's different than the GoPro, is the touch sensitivity of the screen. Way better. Larger sensor with better low light performance. GoPros are great at lots of things, but like most action cameras, their image quality tends to fall apart in low light. This is largely because they have a small sensors, which have relatively low native light sensitivity thanks to their tiny pixels. GoPro actually made the situation worse with the GoPro 9 Black by increasing sensor resolution from 12 to 23 without increasing sensor size. Come on, GoPro. Like other flagships, GoPros, the 8 Black and the 9 Black have 0.3 inch sensors. This is the size used by your average bog standard compact camera, the kind no one buys anymore. Thank you, GoPro. Right, I'm looking for when we use them in our bus traveling and recording, mainly for the Sony the Sony 3000. Right, I'm looking for when we use them in our bus traveling and recording, mainly for the Sony 3000. So if you say in your bus, are you talking streaming or are you talking recording? So just recording, like not streaming at all? Because if you're just going to be recording, I recommend the GoPro, because this has 5K 30 frames per second, so you can get some really beautiful footage. Or maybe I'm reading about the 10 that comes out probably in September, October. So if it's something you can wait on a little bit, maybe I'm going to finish this article here and see what it's saying versus the 9. But this has been a pretty good camera. I use this for vlogging and other stuff. It's been great. Fiat David, thank you for all the great information, and I just want to let you know I support you on Amazon as a follower. Thank you, Fiat Ministry. I really appreciate that. Appreciate the follow. Is GoPro likely to just bung in a bigger sensor? We don't think so. GoPro used the Sony IMX277 for 3 generations of action cameras, the Hero 6 Black, Hero 7, and Hero 8. It gets to know a sensor, working out ways to tease more out of it as other parts of the camera change year after year, rather than upgrading as soon as it can. The GoPro 9 was the first to use the Sony IMX677, and this decision will not have been taken lightly. There's another clue as to why GoPro couldn't simply slot in some of the much more impressive sounding sensors used in phones. The IMX677 is listed by Sony's sensor division as a component for DSCs, or digital stills, as opposed to mobile phones. That there's an entirely separate category for small mobile sensors and small design camera sensors, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So this sensor supports, it lets you capture short and long exposure during the GoPro 9 has an HDR stills mode, but not HDR video. Allows for ghosting free HDR. Hopefully we'll see this in the Hero 10 Black. It would be nice. This is another reason for the Hero 10 to have a new processor to allow for on-the-fly HDR video processing and to get rid of the slow feel of capturing HDR stills. This could be a real focus for the new camera, letting it get rid of these blown out parts in cloudy skies. It would be great if they did a software upgrade. Definitely would be. So, King Dub, don't go into people's streams and ask for raids or anything. Don't do that. That is like not good etiquette. All you'll do is get banned. I'm not going to ban you right now, but if you keep asking, we will have to ban. We don't do that. And you don't, if you want proper stream etiquette, don't go ask for follows. Don't go ask for follow. Don't ask for shout outs, and don't ask to be moderators, and don't ask for raids. That's just like, you'll never get a raid if you ask for it. That's the worst thing you can do. So stream etiquette is the thing. And that's actually chat etiquette. You just don't want to do that. Everybody here is probably like, oh, this person's looking for attention. And nobody's going to want to talk to you. Nobody's going to want to follow you. So don't ask. What you do is you go into chats, you offer, you get involved in the chat, you communicate with people, have a conversation, and then maybe somebody will go and check you out if you're adding to the conversation. Drunk Mom, thank you so much. DOL HDR has the effective frame rate, but we think the Hero 10 Black could still manage 60 frames at 4K. More on that later. New processor will also see improvements to low light image quality. However, we can't expect massive leaps here if we are correct in assuming the Hero 10 will use the same sensor as the 9, which I hope it doesn't. Okay, so Daniel, if you're just going to be recording, then I definitely would look at the GoPro. As you, like I said, you can get 5K, 30 frames per second. The footage looks beautiful. It's in 100 megabits per second. And with this media mod, this is a $79 media mod, which I have. All of this is in the carousel below the video. This is a great rig for anything. And the audio quality out of this thing is really good right out of camera, but it has like I was showing earlier, it has a thing for external audio. You can charge it indefinitely while you're recording, which means you're not going to be limited to how long you can record. It's got a mount for a light on the top. It's got another mount on the side if you wanted to mount something else. And it also has great stabilization with the I can't remember what it's called on this one. It has a name, the stabilization. But yeah, it's really good. So this, and also the fact that you can see on the front and back screen when you're recording, so you can frame your shot either from the front or the back. And the lenses, you can pop them off and put different lenses on if you want to. So you can do modifications, like if you're going to be in a lot of sunlight, like this is a neutral density 16 filter. There's a 32 if I wanted it darker. So there's just a lot of options with this camera, and the mounting systems have been around for a long time. So there's a ton of gear you can find to mount to almost anything. And if you're going to be in an RV, you could have mounts all over the place. And then with this little magnet mount that I have here, I can literally take this camera. So I've got this mounting system on this camera as well. Watch how easy it is. I just turn this right here, pop it off, pop on the GoPro, and twist, and now it's mounted. So it's such an easy mounting system. And this is from Ulanzi. You can get these on Amazon too. I don't have these in the tray, but if you're interested in those, I can add them really quick if that's something that you like. But it's like a quick release, just boom, undone. I have one of these in the car. I have one of them on another tripod, so I can just flop it up, put it in the next one, and ready to go. Just makes swapping cameras so much easier, because you do that a lot. Wait, can I use banjo, the band banjo? Lisa, I want to know how you use a remote with a camera to use over your headshots. I don't use a remote. I would be using software to do it. There aren't really any that you can use a remote with that I know of. Other than you could use the PTZ cameras, but those are going to be too heavy as an overhead camera. So I have a potential prototype coming of a camera that is a zoom camera. So that mount looks really cool. A link would be great. Okay, hold on. Let me add that to the tray really quick. Add Ulanzi quick. Let's see if I just put quick, if it knows what I mean. Yep, there it is. Add to stream and add to stream. I just added two. So if you look at the product carousel now under the stream, look at the very end, just scroll to the end of it. I added to the two mounts that I recommend. There's two different systems that are kind of the same. One you have to push and pop out. The other one you twist and pop out. You zoom in and out all the time. I don't zoom in and out all the time. If you're talking about this shot, this is a PTZ camera. So this one is not like, this is a $1,800 camera. So that's not something you're going to use as an overhead shot. You're not going to want to spend that kind of money on an overhead shot. The camera that I have coming that's got just a zoom lens to go up there and that I can zoom in and out in software is about $1,000. So these cameras are a little bit pricey. But you can zoom in and out in software. So you could set it up and then I could set a zoom in software to pull it in tight. So okay, let's go back to this article. We could be seeing 4K and 120p, which would be awesome. I couldn't imagine having 120 frames per second 4K on a GoPro. As long as they get a new processor, that would be good. If they don't get a new processor, that's not going to be good at all. Edge-to-edge rear screen, that would be awesome as well. It's not a very bad looking bezel, but it is pretty, that is pretty wide. Screen end to end would be awesome, I think. Multicam, here's a feature we haven't needed ourselves, but is talked about regularly among hardcore GoPro fans. GoPro system does not have a built-in multicam support. This is what you use to live stream using multiple cameras at once. You can get around this using third-party software like OBS, but given GoPro offers live streaming through its own app, multicam seems an obvious feature. See, I don't agree with that kind of crap. I don't want to see them put work into that kind of crap, because I'm not going to stream from their system anyway, because the quality sucks. It's not good, the quality. So I would always stream into like OBS or something like that versus using the camera software. And it's just because they just kind of half do it, because they're like, oh, well, people want to live stream. So I can't imagine the quality of if they did multi-streaming. So I hope that they don't even focus any time and development costs on something like that, because it's going to be a waste of money and a waste of time. Nobody's going to use that, and if they do, it's going to be not good quality. So I hope that they don't. I hope they don't do that. Gleason, is that an 8 or a 9 you have? This is a 9. I have an 8 also, but the one that I'm showing here is a 9. And one feature probably won't see is 8K video. If you're expecting a big leap from GoPro's maximum 5K capture resolution to 8K, we think you're going to be disappointed. The Sony sensor does not have the required resolution for the job, which is 33 megapixels and a 16:9 sensor. So I mean, I don't understand why that could be when you can get 8K, I believe, out of the Sony A7X. What is it? The A7X Mark III or what? A7S Mark III. It's 12 megapixels, and I believe that shoots in, maybe it's only 6K. I can't remember what that shoots in. So, but I don't think that the megapixel size determines that, because like I said, the A7S III is 12 megapixels. So, GoPro Black early thoughts. Right now, we know next to nothing about it. May as well be significantly. So, yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that it does have those features and much more. I mean, this is like, you know, like they always release things and they kind of upset their user base because it's like, we didn't get what we wanted. The 10 being like 10 years, the 10, the X or whatever, the Max or whatever the heck they're going to call it. I think that they need to come out of the gate because they know that DJI is on their heels with the Action. The DJI Osmo Action is probably going to launch another camera here soon because the last Action, this one right here, is pretty old. I mean, I think this came out in 2016 or I can't remember, 2018 or something, but it's old. And so they're going to be coming out with a new one. And if they come out with one that's cheaper and kind of smokes the GoPro, well, that could be a problem for GoPro. So I think that they know that. And I think that they know that they're losing market share the more they don't deliver for their customers, because they are ticking people off every single time they launch. So Daniel, thanks for the help. Love this Amazon streaming thing. The ability you have to add links while streaming. We'll go watching you here more often. Gotta go. See you next time. Peace. Thank you, Daniel, so much. Thanks for the follow and everything. Go have a good day. Why would anyone stream in 4K 6 or 8? Now, it's not about streaming, Lisa. It's about recording. You won't stream in that, but they're only talking about recording. So the GoPro is more a recording camera than a streaming camera, obviously. But like I was saying, GoPro has an opportunity this year to really knock people's socks off and be like, look, we listened. Here it is. Here's the price. It's got to be priced well, because like I said, DJI is going to come out and it probably DJI, they're the kind of people that will probably launch it the day before GoPro does, just to try to get in there and mess with them. But and this is a great camera, don't get me wrong. So I think that the next DJI, they're going to be like, hey, GoPro, here you go. Eat this GoPro. This is what we think. This is what we're going to do. Come at us, bro. And we'll see what happens. So it's a battle, and GoPro has to know it. They have to know it. They lost a lot of sales to this thing already. And if they don't continue to listen to user feedback and give us the camera that we really want, which is not asking too much, you know, it's not asking too much. They have the ability to give us what we want. So let's see if they do it. So I think that I personally feel like this is going to be a good year for a new GoPro to come out because of that competition. Thank you, DJI, for the competition, by the way. Thank you, other action cameras, for the competition, because it pushes these other companies to do better. You know, Sony with their live streaming, like when everybody started live streaming and Sony embraced the live streaming community from the beginning, they really pushed, and now Canon is adding it to everything. Canon is like, well, our cameras, you can live stream with them now too. All of the camera companies are trying to catch up. So Grim on Amazon, love competition. Yes, I do too. Competition drives the marketplace. And that's the thing. If you look at when I first started streaming back in 2000, when Facebook first launched it in 2016, I think it was, I paid $10,000 for the only live streaming box you could stream to Facebook live professionally. Other than that, it was with your phone, because I knew that this was going to be something. $10,000 I spent for that box. But the barrier of entry, the cost of entry keeps going down and down and down, and everything is starting to embrace the streamer community, which is good. So Sony pushed Canon, now Canon's pushing the rest, and Sony and Canon are pushing together, and now all of these companies are like, look, this is a streamer centric economy right now. There are a lot of streamers getting started every day. So they got to start embracing it. And the more they do that, the costs go down because they want to compete with each other. And that's good for us. When I first started streaming many, many years ago, the barrier of entry, I mean, I was paying $2,500 per camera for a broadcast camera, $2,500. Now I got a whole broadcast system that looks more professional than that ever did. And this is about $1,000, less than $1,000 if you shop right. The camera that Jennifer uses in her studio is an A5100. I paid $250 for that camera, $399 for the lens. The lens was more, so you're talking about $600. And I've got a camera and look that looks better than I could get out of a $2,500 broadcast camera, just maybe 6 years ago. So the barrier of entry is going to continue to get lower and lower and lower, and the quality keeps getting better and better and better. Mike Healy, Big D, great stuff on live streaming on Amazon. Thank you, man. Appreciate that. So yeah, I mean, you guys, if you're like looking to take your streams to the next level, I've been working on Amazon here and creating a proof of concept, and I'm really liking the results so far. I will say that I hope that they continue to increase the quality, because like streaming at 720 and 30 frames per second is like blasphemy to me. I tell everybody streaming 60 frames per second, but what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? So I can't even multi-stream to YouTube in 60 while I'm streaming in 30 to Amazon. So I'm sending a signal to YouTube and to Amazon at the same time. I'm over on YouTube, Impartial Geek, if you want to follow. If you follow on Impartial Geek on YouTube, I am actually teaching Amazon Live. I'm going to show you guys how to set up professional streams. I'm going to show you guys my stats and everything and what's happening. So hopefully you subscribe and get into that. Gleason, gotcha. I have the 8. Got a comment over there. I have the 8 and don't think it came with the wide wind reduction for the media kit. No, the wind reduction is in camera. You got to turn that on in camera. If you're going to mod this thing, you have to do that with like it's like a DIY thing. They don't make one that you can just put on it. You got to do it yourself. And I actually did it and it didn't work great, but I found that this doesn't sound bad with wind with this on it, but all you got to do is get some dead cat material and put it over the top of this thing. And that would really, help. So yeah, you could do that. Clay, do you think the image stabilization on the Sony Rx100 Mark 7 would be enough for IRL streams, walking around and riding at the theme parks, or would a new gimbal? Thanks again. So I used that camera, no problem. The stabilization was perfectly fine for what I was doing. And even when you're zoomed in at 200 millimeters, it's pretty stable because it has the stabilization. Now remember, when you go into that active stabilization mode, it does crop in a little bit, but not too much. What you want to do in that situation is just make sure that you have a pole that you can extend and get it out enough. So I don't know if you can see this. I can extend that pole and get that out enough that it actually would work. So the RX100 Mark 7 is a great camera for that kind of environment. And like I said, when I was at Comic-Con walking through and like Jason Momoa and other actors were there, I didn't have that camera. I had the Sony Fdr X3000, so I couldn't zoom in. Had I had the RX100, I'd have been able to zoom right in on those people and not had to get close to them. Like this camera, I would have had to get right in their face. And who's going to get in Jason Momoa's face? Like, be honest. Who here would get in Jason Momoa's face and say, hey, I'm going to record you? Who would? Not me. I'm not messing with Aquaman. Or worse yet, and I'm not messing with, what was his name in Game of Thrones? Not messing with that guy. Grim, the production I was a part of this last weekend used all legacy broadcast equipment that can now be done with just a few mirrorless cams, simple microphone system, and 2 PCs with OBS and still look better. Yeah, so I consulted a TV show when the pandemic hit. A TV show reached out to me, and Cal Drogo, yes. And they're like, okay, we're wanting to run the show from an apartment. What kind of gear do we need? And when I told them the gear they needed, they were just flabbergasted because they came prepared to spend like $50,000, $50,000 to $100,000. I got them everything they needed for less than $5,000, and they were just floored. They were like, they're like, what? Are you serious? Like, yes, I'm serious. So they had a professional look, more professional in some cases than what they can get on broadcast TV with some of those broadcast cameras, because they're using broadcast cameras that don't have a wide open aperture, so you don't get like the shallow depth that you see everything in focus. So they're even not as good as these cameras can be. So David, you rock. Fear the beard.
Fear the beard.
Yeah, I think he would fear the beard, but I just don't have the arms he has. So, David, do you think? Oh yeah, I already answered that. So Clay, yeah, hopefully that helps answer your question. And the thing is, with Amazon, you can get that camera, try it for 30 days, see if it works, and if it doesn't, send it back. I mean, that's one of the beauties of the 30-day return policy at Amazon. I do that all the time. I get things like, I mean, it's a way for you to test and make sure things are going to work. Don't abuse it. You know, I try really hard not to do that a lot, but there's sometimes where you don't know if something's going to work unless you get your hands on it. If you're paying $1,100 for a camera, it needs to work. So I would take advantage of that program, get it, test it out, make sure it works for you, and then if it doesn't, and what I do is I always make sure that I keep all the packaging and stuff still on it. I keep the plastic on the thing. I don't rip anything off. I keep it just like I pulled it out of the box. I don't even pull the cables out or anything. I leave everything in the box except the camera. I pull it out, I test it, and don't like get it all gummed up or anything like that. And then if it works, then I'll peel everything off and keep it. If it doesn't, or if it does, I'll keep it. If it doesn't, I put it back in the box exactly how I took it out, and I send it back because they can sell it refurbished. And if it's in like brand new condition, they can generally get the same amount of money out of it. You know, maybe slightly less, but they're still making money on it. So, Fiat, do you have the camera rig that you just were showing in your Amazon list? Which camera rig was that, Fiat? Golden, I was thinking you should find an Amazon sign light, like your Atari one. Just an idea. I don't even know if they make those. I'm definitely not going to have one made, but I don't know if they make those. The camera rig I was just showing in my Amazon list. Let me look and see what's in there. I was just showing in my Amazon list. The quick release, or like the quick release mounting system, or what? The small rig? The small rig camera rig for the phone? This? If this is what you're talking about, yes, this is the small rig for your phone. And this actually holds the moment lenses. You can mount the moment lenses on here. So if you have moment lenses, this is the perfect case. And these mounts are a lot more solid than Moment's cases. Moment's cases are plastic around these holes, and they don't hold very well. Hey, Mike Healy, are you still here? Mike, are you streaming on Amazon or what, man? I saw that you called me while I was live here. I couldn't answer because obviously I'm live. But are you streaming on here? Because I see you got the blue check mark, which means you're approved on Amazon. So Fiat, let me know if that's what you were talking about in the comments. And if not, I will look it up and see what it is you're talking about. And show it to you. And maybe I do have it, because I have a lot of stuff here. I have a lot of gear. If you guys haven't noticed, I have a lot of gear. I probably have, I don't even want to say the amount. I mean, I literally have hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of gear. Easy. In my studio, in the garage, in the closet. And I'm going to have a massive garage sale. I'm going to be putting all of this stuff up for sale. I'm actually looking in to see if I can do it on Amazon, or if I have to do it on my own store. So, and by the way, if you're on Amazon right now and you've not, hover over the video and follow if you don't mind. Fiat, the one you just extended showing how far away you should have the camera. Oh, okay. Oh, that, okay. Let me, that is not, in my list. So let me go add that really quick. Add. It is the Ulanzi MT 16. Add to stream. Okay, it is on there now for you, Fiat. If you're over on Amazon, I think you're also watching on Amazon, so it is there now. If you want to look at it. Look at it. Oh, I just hit the overhead camera. That's never good. You don't ever want to hit your cameras with poles. Lisa, I just noticed the green in the background when the color change happened. It's nice looking. I just noticed the green in the background when the color change happened. When did the color? Oh, I just did that this week, actually. I had a little bit of green in there. I added a little bit of green here on the Captain America shield as well. So I got a light shining down on the shield. Grim, FYI, no neon Amazon live sign to be found anywhere on the interwebs. Yeah, I Googled. So, I mean, I could get one made. They have that one where you can make custom neon signs, but I don't know if I'm going to pay for a custom Amazon sign because, one, if it's not authorized, I could get in trouble. They could be like, hey, you used our logo and made a sign that we did not approve on the back of your studio. That's not cool. And remove me from the partner program. I don't want to do stuff like that. I don't want to push push my limits or anything right now because I'm just getting started on here. I've been streaming on Amazon for, I think this is my second week. So that's kind of crazy, but let's see something here. I'll show you guys. I've been making my purchases on Amazon after checking out your stuff over there. Hope it helps. Golden coin, it helps. Every little bit helps. I truly appreciate that. But let me show you my stats really quick from a little over a week of streaming on Amazon. So 17.4 thousand in sales. I mean, that's crazy. $17,000 in sales on Amazon in a little over a week. So I like that. So that's why I'm focusing on Amazon over YouTube. So thank you. I love your Amazon stream. Thank you, Fiat. I appreciate that. Truly. It looks good. Thank you, Lisa. Yeah, I like having the different colors because it makes the other ones kind of stand out a little bit. So beautiful. Anybody else, any questions on any kind of gear, streaming gear, action cameras, doesn't matter what it is, let me know. I did actually upload some more videos to my profile. Let me show you my Amazon profile here really quick. So this is my Amazon profile. And I just uploaded, oh wait, I don't want to show you my profile. What I want to show you is my shop. And I didn't bookmark that one. So I'm going to bookmark that one too. So Amazon shop, bookmark this sucker, add bookmark, shop. I wish they would say store, not shop. But anyway, I just uploaded some more videos. So now I've got the review of the DJI Mavic Air, the Canon G7X Mark II, the Brio Beardscape. See, I don't have to stick with live streaming gear. And then I've got the Rode NT USB, the Go XLR, and the Sony ZV-1. So I'm working my way up to my 10 videos. As soon as I get 10 videos up there, I'll be approved. And these should start showing up all over Amazon on these product pages. So if you guys want to see those, if you just go to amazon.com/shop/impartial geek, you can see when I'm live. And you can see all the videos that I have on here, plus my list that have all of my stuff. I have my video, studio, and streaming gear. And then I also have my mobile streaming gear on here as well. Thank you for that, Grim. I don't know, did that link? Let's see if they leave it. I've seen links get removed before. I do have a shot, like if you take off that tracking stuff, it'll just go there. And I think that would be less likely to get removed if it doesn't have all of the tracking after it. The link tracking, anything after the question mark. So just right at the end of the K, if you just always remove that before you share it, I think that would help. I think David has finally found his niche. Yes, I have. I actually love doing this because I love answering people's questions and trying to help them save money. So doesn't activate though. That's weird. Can you add the Sony Rx100 to your Amazon too? I'll try to sweet talk the wife and would like to get the referral fee. Thanks, Clay. I really, really appreciate that. I will actually do that. I'm going to go to the Rx100. Rx100. Mark 7. Mark 7. Here we go. And I will pop that in my list for video streaming gear. I'm also going to pop that in my mobile gear because I use that for mobile too. So mobile. And then let me go back really quick and see if they have just the camera. So the camera is 1200. This is 1100. I'm not seeing one that's prime. 1400 for prime. That's the G7X Mark II. Yeah, so I'm going to add I'm going to add this Prime one as well. That's a whole package. That's got multiple batteries and stuff. But I keep it powered with an adapter, so I don't really use the batteries, but I'm still going to add this in the list since it is Prime. All right, so I added that to my mobile list. So Clay, if you go to the link, impartialgeek.com/Amazon, that will take you there though. Do I have that on here? I don't think I have that as a call to action. No, I don't. Let me add that really quick. Title editor. Okay, so follow me. Okay. Head to my profile and follow. Hold on. To see all my gear. Boom. And then we got creator toolkit.com/Amazon. All right. Add that. And there you go, right there. Head to my profile to see all my gear, creatortoolkit.com/Amazon. Hey boss, what bitrate at 10? I'm not at 60. I can't do 60 to Amazon, so therefore I can't do 60 to YouTube because I can only have one frame rate in my production. So I'm only streaming in 30 frames per second, which I know, blasphemy. But my bitrate is at 2500 to Amazon, and I think 6,000 to 6,000 to YouTube. So I'm sending 6 megs to YouTube, 2.5 megs to Amazon. So what do you recommend cleaning the camera lens with? Just a cloth, just a microfiber cloth. Can video reviews be made of products you may not physically have? You could, Golden, but it's a lot better if you do have it because you're giving a real world example. If you're just kind of like talking, like if you don't have it, that's not going to be as credible. You know what I mean? There are some things like this, you know, I only had this for a very short time, but I know enough that I could talk about it, but I probably wouldn't do a video on it because I can't pull it out and show people. People want to see it. They want to see the item. They want to see you touching it because that actually lends to the credibility of your review. If I were to review stuff that I didn't own, I don't think that would lend to my credibility too much. Like, oh, you're saying that, but is that all opinion because you don't have it? So, yeah. But the thing is, like, once you start doing this, you guys would have no idea how many companies I have reaching out to me being like, hey, can you review our item? Can you review this? Can you do this? Well, if you buy the product and you do a review, we'll send you we'll pay you back in PayPal if it's positive. Like, I'm not getting into all that, but that's what'll happen. You'll have people reaching out to send you things. And then as you grow, you'll actually get legitimate companies reaching out to work with you that won't do it that way. Where you're actually going to have a kind of partnership where you talk about their products and they sponsor it, but they don't tell you what to say. They don't tell you like, hey, it's got to be positive or anything like that. That's where you get into problems. You know, you really want to watch when you're going into these reviews for cheap products, the products that are very inexpensive on Amazon. Read the reviews because a lot of times you can tell if even from verified purchases, because there is a thing going on where people are buying reviews and sending people free product for or reimbursing them after buying a product for a positive review. Only if it's positive. If it's not positive, then they don't give them the money. So you got to be very careful, and you can learn to read those comments that are from people like that. So thank you. So 6,000 bit for your YouTube live view solo, right? No, not for the live view solo. Don't ever send 1080 to the live view. Only 720, 60, and only like 3,500 kilobits per second. Don't try to send a full HD signal because if anything happens to where it goes down a little bit, it's going to degrade your signal and it's not good. So only ever, if you're using the live view, only ever send 720, 60, 3,500 kilobits per second, max 4,000. If you have to like really push it to 4,000, but don't do 1086 6,000 because that's, like I said, you run the risk of getting your stream like clogged up, because if you drop to even like 5,000, you've still got 1,000 trying to go through there that can't, and it's gonna make it buffer and do all kinds of weird things. So keep it low. It's still gonna look great even on a big screen TV. The only time I've ever done streams in the higher bit rate is if I'm sitting in a location and I'm getting 10,000, 9,000, 10,000 with 4 things of data. I would never try to do that with less than like 3. If I have 4 and I'm averaging 9,000 and I'm in a place that are sitting there and I'm not moving, then I will set it for 1080 60, but only then. If I'm out walking around, I'm moving around, even if the camera's mobile, then I keep it low so that I don't ever clog my data and get the buffering. You are welcome, Jeffrey. PC, now I understand why some streams are so choppy. Yeah, that's what it is. It's people trying to send too much data. You know, you've got this hole and you've got your data going through. I've done this on other streams and I get in trouble for this, but you've got your data going through. If you've got too much data going through that hole, it's going to get clogged up. And that's when you get that, you know, the data clogs and clogs and backs up and backs up. And then once you get your 6,000 back, then it opens that hole, like then the data goes down again. And then all of a sudden that's where you do the blah, 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 and it catches up and it just becomes a horrible viewing experience for people. So don't do that to people. Golden Coin. Yeah, I bought a post switch. And in the box was a card that said if you give it a 5-star rating, this will discount next purchase from that supplier. Yeah, don't ever do that stuff, you guys. Do not ever take payment or take free product for a review. Ever. Don't ever do that because that delegitimizes reviews. I use those reviews to make purchasing decisions on Amazon. Like, those reviews are very important to me. You can usually trust that that's not happening on expensive products, but on some of the cheaper products that you're buying, just read them and see how they're worded. Make sure that they sound legitimate. Generally, you can tell, but you know, just be careful. And again, if you are a streamer, it is exciting when you have a company reach out to you and they're like, "Hey, you could get this product for free if you just buy the product, do a positive review, and we'll send you the money back." Because when you're first getting started, free product is like, "Whoa, I can get free product. I can get something for free. Sign me up." But no, don't do it. What you want to do is you want to just keep staying the course. Tell those people no, tell them no, until you start getting legitimate companies reaching out to you because they want to send you product for free without you having to buy it. And they don't ask you to do any kind of positive review. They're just like, "Hey, this product looks like it would be a good fit for you. Take this product. Tell us what you think. We don't care what you say or whatever." And then do that. And but you do have to disclose that, "Hey, you know, and this is not true, but Sony sent me this camera. They did not tell me what to say or anything in this review. So this is my opinion, my feelings on this camera, and whatever." Disclose that, but you'll have legitimate companies reaching out to you over time to do that. So just wait for that to happen. Don't take these fly-by-night little companies. I understand what they're doing. They're trying to get their name out there, but a lot of times they actually are kind of crap products, and people are falsely inflating these crap products and putting them in a light that they don't deserve to be in. I tried the Sony ZV-1 for the live streaming on the live view, and as the main image is so good, I just wish it was more wide and have the wide lens self-stick. It's okay. So you can make it a little bit wider if you shut off active stabilization and use a gimbal. That's one way you could make that camera a little bit better. But as far as wide angle, yeah, that 24 millimeters is kind of hard. Do you ever use any type of Wi-Fi booster when you're IRL streaming? I've got some inside areas where the only signal I have may be a very weak Wi-Fi signal. The 3-cell modems seem to be in dead zones. Yeah, so you can get boosters, but you have to be careful with what boosters you get. There are some crap boosters out there. Now, I personally have never used a booster, but just do some research. Go on YouTube and say cell phone booster with whatever company you're trying to boost, so Verizon or whatever, so that you get the carrier specific booster, and you're generally only gonna be able to boost one of those signals, not all of them. So you'll have to get one that's either Verizon, T-Mobile, AT&T, or whatever it is that you're using. You'll want to boost that specific signal. It's not going to just take any signal and boost it. So look into that. And you can also call your carrier. Call the carrier that you have that's generally your better service, which is generally Verizon is the one that's more consistent nationwide. Call them and say, "Hey, I need a range extender for this, or whatever," and see what they say, because they'll generally have an idea. I also tried the Sony Rx100 for a long time. range was also good. I just wish it had ND filter. Yeah, you can get ND filters that go on it. You can get like a sticky lens adapter that goes on it. It's just a piece of metal. Then you can screw like a 52 millimeter ND filter on that camera. I've done that all the time. It's just a little round metal thing that has 3M tape on the other side. You stick it to the lens and you can do that. Maybe set up a mesh. A mesh is not going to work in that situation because you're using mobile data, and if you don't have mobile data, it's not going to. I mean, he's in an RV. A mesh network isn't going to do anything in an RV. Maybe in a house, but not an RV. It's too small. PC Phil, I did receive a gift card refund once, but it was in the box already. The product was legit good though. Well, that's good. That's good. But hopefully it wasn't for a review. You know. Don't ever give a review for a gift card. Don't give a review. I mean, give a review if you get the gift card and they're asking you to give a review in general, that's fine. Don't give forced positive reviews. That's where it gets shady. If they give you the money to give you your honest opinion, that's one thing. But if they are legit paying you or giving you a free product because they want it to be a positive review, do not do that. Because again, all you're doing is a disservice to all the other people that are going to be doing their research to potentially buy that product. So you don't want to do that. That's so uncool, man. That's so uncool. Thank you for your help. Mean a lot. No worries. When are you starting your other channel? My other channel is, okay, so I got the comment issue fixed on this channel, and that other channel I was getting ready to start to focus on live streaming and stuff, but I'm going to put that on hold because of everything that's happening with Amazon right now. I didn't have any idea that this was going to happen, so I'll be putting that on hold. I'm still going to be focused on the toolkit and stuff like that. I got that to do, and I will still be posting videos on the YouTube channel, but that's going to be more around Amazon Live and helping people get started on it and understanding like what I'm doing. And then I'll be streaming 7 days a week right now on Amazon and YouTube simultaneously. So no matter where you want to watch, it's totally cool. Appreciate that. So yeah. Cal Drogo. Man, that dude was huge. Jason Momoa is one big dude. If the product is good, they shouldn't have to twist someone's arm. Exactly, Golden Coin. Exactly. If the product is good, they shouldn't have to pay for positive reviews. So, I mean, again, I understand the marketplace is so large. There's so many companies out there selling that it's very competitive, and it's hard to get your product in front of people. But, you know, that's not the way to do it. That's really not the way to do it. All right. Any more questions before I call it a day? Any more? I'll give you guys 3 more minutes. 3 minutes to ask me some questions. Otherwise, I'm going to hit the road and go eat some lunch. But I'll be back again tomorrow, 10 o'clock a.m. Pacific, right here on this channel. If you're over on Amazon and you haven't followed yet, please hover over the video. When you hover, a follow button is going to show up here, and you can follow. I'm going through the same situation. I have my other channel. I have 135,000 subs, and ever since I started doing live streaming, my subscribers went down and no comments. You just have to, so Jeffrey, you just have to be a lot more strategic with your streams. Like you can't, I don't know if you're just saying Jeffrey and Vivo TV live and that's it. You have to have good title. You have to treat a live stream just like a video. So it has to have a good title, has to have keywords. You need to do keyword research. You have to have a topic. You can't just be like, hey, I'm live and come watch me. Doesn't work. Thanks, David. Always brilliant. Thank you, Nabi. Grim, hard to believe that Jason Momoa was in Baywatch. He was? I did not know that. Dustrick, what's up? Why do you always, Dustrick, do you sit here and watch? That's what you do, isn't it? You sit here and you watch the stream, and then when I say I'm getting ready to leave, you come in and say hi. That's what's going on, isn't it? I know it is. I know it now. Question. Oh, I can't ask that, Dustrick, on Amazon, so I can't even say that. Otherwise, because they have very strict rules on Amazon, so I can't even answer that question. I can answer it without reading it. Yes, they do. Jeffrey, it's fine. How you fix your channel? Jeffrey IT fine. What does that mean? You need to have a pop culture day on Amazon? Oh, well, I mean, we could do that. You don't? Okay. Well, I don't know if I believe you, Dustrick, because it seems like every single time you come in here right when I'm leaving. Every single time. Every time. Every stream needs to be like a Netflix production. It could be. Lame. I know. I'm sorry, Dustrick. But I'm being a good steward of the community. You know, kind of like some other platforms when we first got started. So yeah, maybe I'll do one after hour stream just for you. After hours or something like that. So Jeffrey, you're just titling your stream Jeffrey IT Fine. Because that's not going to work. You have to be very strategic. You have to use titles. So you would have to have a topic with a good title that you did research on, so that it shows up when people are searching. You can't just have variety and say, now with 130 some thousand subs, sometimes you can get away with that because a lot of people will just view to view, but you'll have no replay value whatsoever because people aren't searching for that. I'm not searching YouTube for how to fix your channel or Jeffrey IT Fine. I'm not searching for that. I just like to listen to your voice. Why, thank you, Dustrict. I appreciate that, man.
Do you like it like this?
Or do you like it like this? Which one? Which voice do you prefer? All right, you guys. No more questions. I'm out of here. I'm going to go eat. Going to go hang out with the Chihuahua. The little Chihuahua that we're fostering this week goes back Friday morning. So tomorrow is my last day with her. What's really weird is I have been sleeping all the way through the night, every night that she's been in there. Like just all the way till my alarm goes off. That's rare for me. So look through some of David's titles. Yeah, look through some of mine. Look how I did my live streams. Because it's important. You have to be very strategic with live streams on YouTube. So normal, bro. Normal. Always, bro. Brah. Normal, brah. You saying brah or bro? No, you could call me Jeffrey. It's fine, but my other channel name is Jeffrey El Barbero Master, which means Jeffrey the Master Barber. Gotcha. So yeah, what you would do on your live streams is just make sure you're saying what you're doing. Today I'm doing a high fade, or today I'm doing a low fade with this. You know, just like look at what people are searching for. Go to other channels that are doing live streaming or uploading videos of barbering like you do, and use their titles. Title it what you're doing for that cut. You know, today I will be cutting a high fade, blah, 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 or this or that. Just keyword load it, but don't do clickbait. Make sure you're doing what you say you're doing, but be very strategic on your titles. I'm sorry for my comment on your Abby post. It just makes me so upset. Yeah, no, don't apologize for that. I'm upset too. I'm upset too about that, about Abby. And I'm hoping that I can remedy that after I'm done with this other thing. It's just so expensive for lawyers and stuff. So, but I'm hoping to do that, and I'm planning to do that because I miss that thing. I miss Abby so much. And the thing is, the funny thing is, this little Chihuahua is just like Abby. Very laid back, very quiet. You know, comes and cuddles with my neck. Was sleeping like down around my knees. Doesn't bark. Is just like pretty calm for the most part. So, yeah. All right, Jeffrey, hopefully that helps. Make sure you do that. Just go through and title it, and that'll be better for your streams. And then it'll have replay value as well. So thank you guys for joining me today. I will see you again right here tomorrow at 10 o'clock a.m. Make sure if you are on Amazon, you hover over the video and give me a follow. Today I'm dyeing my beard teal and purple. No, that is not going to happen. Gold. No, that is not happening. But hover over and follow. I do like that, but it hurt my channel more when I do live streaming than when I do editing. But it won't. If you do it strategically, it won't. You're going to have to give it some time, and don't, like, people get too drawn into those stats. Don't dig too deep into those stats, Jeffrey. Don't do that. If you want to live stream, you got to do it, but you got to train your audience. You got to do it the same time, same day, every week. Like if you're going to do a live stream on Friday or something, do it the same exact time. Don't just if you're doing it randomly, that also doesn't work. You cannot go live randomly and grow an audience around it. You're training your audience to watch your live streams. So if you start doing it, let's say you do, Thursdays at 1 o'clock p.m. Then you do that every single Thursday, 1 o'clock p.m. Very strategic with the title, and that can help you. Other than that, you're not helping yourself, and it will hurt your stats if you're all over the place. I'm streaming Wednesday one day. I might go live on Saturday, because then your audience has no idea that it's coming. You want to train them to know that the live stream is coming. So hopefully that helps. But thank you so much, you guys. Tomorrow, right back here. Peace.